Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. I know one day I'll actually get here and everything will be on time and everything will be ready. One day. You can all remind me what that day is. However, this time it's not that day. Buzzard, Mandy, Lee, thank you all for joining me this evening to start with. What's that saying? Yeah, I know I'm live. I don't know why YouTube just sent me a message to tell me that I'm live when obviously I know I'm live. That's weird. I don't understand YouTube sometimes. So, right. How are we doing, Ash? You all right, mate? And that's throwing me off again. Right. Yeah. What I'm going to try doing is essentially my partner bought little tiny models. I mean, little tiny things. They're ridiculous. Even I struggled to even make out even a remote amount of detail that was on there. So she bought herself these things. And oh my god, they make everything huge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going back to some of my Space Marines as it was voted for in the poll. I believe it was continued voted for in the poll. In fact, let me just go double check that this was what was voted for in the poll. It was last time I checked. Because then she used a community tab for change. Oh no, it was 50-50 with 6 votes. And an upvote. Right. Well. See, that might have just changed it. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to you in the chat right now. I do have some Age of Sigmar models just in a box right next to me. So I can change back to the Orcs or the Age of Sigmar, or I can do what I was going to do with the Space Marine ones, which is 5 Hellblasters, 5 Intercessors. We're going to clean them up and then go over them with the Null Nile wash and then painting all the eyes on them, because their eyes are absolutely diddy. So I'll do it as a speed test more than anything. The first one to say either Age of Sigmar if you want me to do the Arc things again that I did last week, or AOS, or 40k if you want me to do the Space Marine models that I have here. So AOS or 40k. I'll leave it up to you lot to decide before I do anything. I'm going to have some of my tea. I'll wait until something pops up and see how everyone is. I don't knock the big metal dragon over because that's not a good idea. I think I've actually remembered everything this time. I hope I have. I've got enough paints out, including by accident the green shade. So I'm not sure. See, now you've all gone quiet, including McT, which is a shame. McT is awesome. How you doing, man? Are you at home this evening? I know Mandy's just come. The Instagram chat that Mandy made me start the other week has probably just come very, very, very quiet now that she actually left and come into here. Right, well, people have a quick decided. There are some touch-up things I need to do with colours that I'll have to do no matter what. Sorry, pardon me. Which is I am going to have to use some red and touch up some of the guns on the Intercessors. And probably do the same with silver and touch up some of the guns on the Hellblasters just to make sure. I don't know how to do polls. So the fantasy ones are the sci-fi ones. Because I can't remember which order I put them in. Come on, mate, you've met me. I can't remember which order I put them in. I think 40k was the second one, which is this one, which is what I'm doing. And while I was waiting, as I said, I'm just going over some of the weapons that need re-going over in these cases. This is where you're supposed to have painting handles, people. Painting handles, they're important. Stops you dropping your models. While I was looking through getting these out, I did notice chips on some of them. So I've got a lot of cleanup work to do. See, I'm still being a bit rough with this. I'm not using the goggles yet because A, I'm not using a brush that's thin enough for me to actually use the goggles. If I put the goggles on with this brush, I think I was trying to paint it with a paint roller or something. Whereas if I just use my eyes, I actually think I've got a chance of painting it. And it turns out that you actually have. You just got to be careful. Because they're all very dark because of the black undercoat, which is the way I wanted it. I didn't want it bright, ridiculously pingy, but it kind of give it not the dullness that I wanted it to have. So I'm going to try different. I'm going to try a wash over it of a flesh wash over the red, as opposed to the black one. So at the moment I'm using the Mephiston red just to retouch up the guns, ready to have a wash over them. Get it in the camera before somebody starts shouting at me. As rightly they should, because I should have it in the camera. I think the camera's in a different position than usual, and I'm not sure. Oh, I know why. I know why it's in a different position than usual. That because I moved it. That's why it's on a boom arm, so we can move it. See, I told you somebody would tell me I was off camera. And everyone's in that chat side of relief now, Mandy, because you're giving her a break for 5 minutes. But thank you for coming to watch me and listen to me talk to myself at the moment. I think, yeah, I did remember to send the links out to people who may wish to join. But most of the time people have still other stuff to do because, well, people have lives. Listening to me and having me on in the background is one thing. Actually being up here and being in front of the camera and it taking up your time is completely different. So I understand why people don't come up. So my hope is at least to be ready because the new box set's coming out. The new Librarian and it looks very, very nice. And he's in Terminator armor. And he's got new Terminators in it. You're watching Leeds. Well, at least you scored. Just at least you're not getting whitewashed. Could be as bad as our match against Liverpool. That's bleeding atrocious. No idea what that was. That brush is a bit naff, to be quite honest. I think that one's on its way out now. Don't want to stain that with red. It's gonna have to be, isn't it? we'll try that one. It's got a reasonable tip in it, so it should be alright. Well, the brush isn't saturated. You want a wet brush, but you don't want it dripping wet. Ooh. So why is this? That light's like no help whatsoever. That's slightly better. So you're also probably seeing it at a higher resolution and bigger screen than I am. So any of the imperfections that I show up, you should all be able to see them much easier than I am. Fairness, that's probably why I should be using. Has this light gone dimmer or something? No, it doesn't appear so. It's just being weird. Must be my eyes. I'm going to blame it on my eyes and I'm going to blame it on age. I went. I've not just got a big red splotch somewhere, have I? No, cool. However, I suppose that's what those goggles are for. So you can actually see the things rather than. Now, one of them had a black gun, didn't he? So we've got to be done. Who had a black gun? You had black sections on your gun. So you. Yeah, back on camera. Anyone else playing tonight, Mick? Can you give us a running update of the Premiership, from who's playing, what score it is? Should have actually will be finishing about this time, what? And at that point, Mandy goes, "No football." I know we won. United won yesterday. City won on Saturday. Yeah, City won on Saturday. I'm going to use a synthetic for metallic because it just makes sense. Although it is a nice, I say nice new brush. It's only a nice new brush because I went out and bought that model with his little griffin friend, but he's not been primed or done properly yet. His griffin's not too bad though. His griffin's okay. Just needs to clean that little notch up on his back a bit, and I should be fine for him. There's a tiny little notch there on his back that I need to clean up. Give the paint a shake. Where's the really left up one? That's the really left up one. I don't want the silver getting mixed up with anything, so I'll just leave you over there. Just thin you out just a bit. that should be enough for that. So, yeah, basic bolt gun, chainmail, whatever type of base steel type colour, yeah, colour. So I'm going to clean up round on all the weapons on here and actually neaten up that edge where the blue spilled over instead of letting it spill over. Or at least not spill over as much. Good evening, Hadvich. Getting late for you, isn't it? I remember you're ahead of me. I believe you're in the future by about an hour. Oh, cool. So there's still a slight tint to it, but when you turn it flat, it's... Oh, that's nice. I didn't expect that to happen. I think I'll keep that. Ladies and gentlemen, watching some idiot watch paint dry. That, I don't really, that's outstanding assessment of myself there. And that's what it feels like sometimes when I've got to do this. Like, I've just done this once. Just done this 3 times. I'm just watching the paint dry again. Because of my own sloppiness and messiness. And that's why I have to practice. And slowly but surely, I actually think I'm going to one day possibly be able to paint a model that looks good to me. I painted them alright. There's a few that I've painted that look okay. But once you get to look at them underneath those glasses thing, and you will see them eventually when I put them on to go through the little dots and do the eyes. Jeez, the magnification, brilliant. And they get more light. The problem is I can't see anything other than the thing that's in the exact spot it's focused on. As soon as I move it away from there, it's just blurred. All of it's just... So we'll see how that goes. Although once I've done this cleanup, I'll do the washes and then move on to doing tonight's. I don't believe it'll be a particularly long one this evening. Because it's more just testing my ability to use the glasses in a minute and see if I can actually do detail and what I can actually see with it. Evening, Kevin. How are you doing, man? Hope you're having a nice evening. I hope everyone's having a nice evening, actually. So it's a test on the glasses and whether or not painting using them all the time would be a good idea. I'll keep an eye out on that backstage area, otherwise I have no idea if anyone who I've sent the links out to is ever going to show up or has shown up. And they're just sat there twiddling their thumbs waiting for me to actually do something about it. No, there's always someone I forget. So if you are one of said people who I usually send the link to, and I have forgotten, please get in touch with me with something other than discourse. Other discourse will work if necessary, because that's the only thing you've got. Evening, Jessica. Chapter's my own. The chapter are the stone dragons, descendants from, well, successors of the salamanders, which is why they all have the charcoaly skin and bright red eyes. And they are a fleet-based chapter, currently trapped in the bad half of the galaxy after being spat out when the Cicatrix Maledictum opened. And they're essentially a small section of what was lost just after Istefan, found by Gilliman and reestablished as a new chapter. So there are both Firstborn and Primaris. However, these are the Primaris ones because these are the Hellblasters and the Intercessors I'm doing the test on. I've got to go through my Firstborn stuff. It needs a lot of cleaning up. And there's a new box set that's coming out as well, which I'm not 100% sure what's in it, but I know there's Terminators in it. I know there's a Phobos Lieutenant, and I do need another. Essentially, I need a Phobos Lieutenant and a Phobos Captain, because I've got a librarian. I essentially just need a secondary HQ for a Phobos unit, and then all the other stuff to go into 10th Company, along with the Scouts. I think that's all that done. No, I need to silver them, didn't I? See, this is where remembering would help when you're doing these things. So, right, I've come to the conclusion. Although Sharpies work, the limited colour palette is limited. But I suppose it did its job for what it had to do. Just it's gonna have to be the Gundam brushes if you want to do anything like what I did. Tried with the marker on this one, because I tried with the markers to do the silver bits, and obviously a Sharpie can't get into the tiny little small sections. So now, yeah, I'm realising I'm having to go double check and go back over just before I do go and give them a wash. And then I've limited myself to 10 pairs of eyes, because I don't think my eyes could take the goggles for that long, and that paint was too thick. Take that off. And let's hope the wash covers that up. Because just a big bloody. See what I mean by sloppy hands? Sloppy hands. Great big silver streak up that bit that I've not long done red. Is that all of them? Yeah, because the others were alright, weren't they? I don't know, you need all the magazine block filling it. Right, yeah, everyone's okay now. So, washes, the original plan. Hey! Normally I'm late at everything. I've got to do tidying up before I even bloody start. No oil wash, probably the better one to start with first. I should do all the eyes first. Well, that's the thing with the skin colours and the sons of Vulcan. So they are not standard skin colour. They are ashen skin colour. They are black ashen, like really dark, but jet black almost. So their skin will be getting an Nile wash, not a flesh wash. It needs to go darker down. It's the eyes that are going to be red naturally, not this. The visors are actually clear. It's the red from their eyes that are showing through the visors. They are true sons of Vulcan, and that has radiated through from their recruitment as well. So yeah, none of this natural skin tones and nope. So see, Mr. Sergeant dude without a helmet. His natural skin tone is more black. Well, he's black, and I don't mean dark brown. I mean the colour if you go to the craft store and buy black paint. But because, as I said, they are called stone dragons, part of them does change a little bit because they don't really come from, well, not anymore, they don't come from Nocturne. So some of them have gone slightly more ashen, as I said, rather than the black, which is why his skin's got a little greyer than the actual black. Essentially, yeah. It's called Jessica. This is called the Lazy Mini Painting Channel. I know it's your first time here, so I'd like to introduce myself. I'm the Lazy Mini Painter. I don't go into great. If it doesn't have to be complicated, it don't have to be complicated. So don't go making it complicated. So let's do it the easy and lazy way if we can. Leather? What leather? No. This is a banded polymer. That's black specifically as a non-reflective surface to help them with the stealth. The blue shoulder pads aren't very good for the stealth section, but they make up for it with accessories being nicely done, unless they are going into more of a camouflage section, in which case they do take green and browns. They are not stupid. They are space marines after all. Got to do that. Bloody rosary! Oh god. If I find one more of them stamps, swear to God, if I find one more of them little bloody stamps that I've not done, I am gonna. Yeah, I finally managed to get up a backside and do something. If you manage to get down to the bloody shop yet and get yourself some headphones so you can actually come up here again without causing everybody watches ridiculous amounts of pain. Otherwise, come up here again, but I don't want my ears to bleed when you do. So, have you gone down Quid Shop and got a pair of headphones and like that? Come on. How are we doing, Steve? Anyway, did you win at the pub? Did you win while you were out? I don't actually know if you was playing anything. Uh, I don't know, Jessica. You've just said go over and do the eyes first, but seeing as I'm going to be going over pretty much the entire model in Null Nile, especially in the case of the Hellblasters, I figured it's going to be easier to do that, let that dry, and then put the glasses on that hurt my eyes and do all the eyes at the end. Is going to be my mission. And this is how you get to see how my very, very quick painting style becomes better than it was when I was 13, which I would bloody hope so, because I'm nearly, well, 40. Essentially, I'm hoping a dry brush and a wash gives me the effect that I want. I may actually have to layer the wash up a little bit more, or go for a heavier wash and maybe go for a contrast over it, but it seems to be working out alright. Right, hang on a minute. Don't forget, I've got my head down, so when you type something long, it'll look up, I've got to read it. Hang about. You're coming over to Manchester to pick up steering rack if you can, then. At least you've got a fair bit of work to do. At least I'm not sat around the house doing bugger all. I hope that scrap that you're picking up's legal. I know what you scousers are like sometimes. Kirsty, good evening. How are you doing? I see that you found your charger in time to actually charge your phone. Thank you for getting it charged up and coming to join me this evening again. I'm still blaming you and Mandy for the chaos that we've brought on Dan. I'm not taking any responsibility for that. I'm in camera. See, yeah. Always double bloody check because I forget. I'm past the swear barrier. Yeah, I'm half an hour in now. I'm definitely past the swear barrier, so I'm okay if anything slips out. So far, I've been good. I've been well behaved. Ish, I think. I'm not sure. Ah, bollocks. How many more do I have? 2 blue shoulder pads? Just you. Literally just one of you. Out of all of them that I've got here, only one of them doesn't. Well, at least I've found him now. When you get sorted after this in a minute. I thought I'd got them all. All that because the transfers don't go over the black. So they've all got blue shoulder pads, and I thought I finally got them all. And no, one Hellblaster, just one Hellblaster, gets through the damn things. And I missed him. So that was put blue on the bloody palette. I didn't want blue on my palette. I thought I was away from blue. At least for the time being, anyway. Ooh, nice. I hope you didn't tell her to watch me. Was you telling her to watch me, Kirsty? Because that's just cruel. finding a set of alloys or getting a set of alloys for that's worth 200 quid is very nice. I forgot to do his body. And that's why my models get chipped, because the end was getting knocked over. How goes the 3D printing an entire new proxy army terrain set, Steve? Now you've got access to it as it stopped going brrr. Yeah. That's just going to need a straight paint black. That's not too bad. Shouldn't need a wash afterwards. Is that all of them done? All of them done? No, still got one more. One more Hellblaster. To give a wash because he's too clean. I know, that makes perfect sense. You wash a model because it's too clean. No, you do. You wash a model because it essentially gives you shadows and recesses and makes all the areas that you accidentally made bright dark again. If you do it right. If you do it like me, however, it probably ends up looking like a complete mess. We'll either see tonight or I'll post pictures of it on Instagram. Anything. Yes, that is the problem. If something goes wrong with the actual machine, then it can, especially if you've got more than one. Geez, man. If you've got to replace 3, then no wonder it's costing you 100 quid. If you've got to fix 3 of them. But yeah, if you've got to replace something like the film, if you do something silly like don't clean the resin vat properly and these little bits of resin in as the screen comes down, it can break the screen or the film. You've got to be careful with some of it. It's actually quite a lot more delicate than you think, even though it's quite robust. Right, like you lot bleeding dry. Next. Definitely edge highlighting style is not the one for me. Looking at the difference between this model and the ones that I've just been doing, this one's had more of a edge highlight on it than the slap choppy dry brush method that those ones had on them, although not quite as heavy. And yeah, I prefer the slap choppy dry the slap choppy dry brush method for base colouring you. I may have just gone a bit over the top on the edge because I was not very steady handed and rushing it, but still, I still prefer that method to this one, although it's still dry. It may turn out that this method ends up looking better, but we'll see. It just means if I find out I painted half my army in one way and half my arm in the other, I'm just going to repaint the other half of my army. Filaments I'll settle for scenery, and anything that doesn't require a flat edge. If it requires a flat, smooth surface, and if you require small, high detail, then a filament can't do it really. You need a resin printer. I've seen some nice proxies for potentially Gravis / Terminator armor, and it's rather than being all smooth and nice like they are, they're a little bit more square and chunky. And I have considered asking someone to do some out for me to see what they're like and see what they're like in scale in comparison and whether or not they'll work as a Gravis replacement. Because although I do have some Gravis armor, I would like an entire company of Gravis armor to go. So kind of like the Dark Angels have the Death Wing and the Raven Wing, and they're both set up specifically as a either all Terminator and Elite force, and then an all bike and fast attack force. I would like to do something similar, but with Terminator and Gravis and equivalent, so I can get some troops and some heavies in there as well. And then, yeah, again, Phobos and fast if I can manage it. But I'm not happy with the fast attack choice that you get with the starter box at the moment with Space Marines. Yes, it gives you. I've just done that when I picked it up like an absolute idiot. Why? Well, that's because I'm an idiot. Not because of the heavy choice. It's the toughness and inability to actually withstand what that heavy stuff and that mobility takes. I just don't get it. Oh, cannons, why? You've got better anti APC available in the fast attack section. Heck, a few bolters and a few melter shots will take it out. You can stick melters and I think you can stick a melter gun in a assault squad. If not, then you've got plasma inceptors, which are far superior at taking out light APCs than auto cannons. 10th. Yes, that was. Still, I'll allow you to introduce yourself. But yes, I am looking forward to 10th, if only for the new models, if not necessarily the new rules. Yeah, it's something else. I would like to go back to playing 5th/7th, that set of rules. 7th was probably the better set. But they've not completely refreshing the range now. They have just brought the missile launchers out, which means you can replace the Devastator squads. Impulsors make up Rhinos. Repulsors make up Land Raiders. So I would like to go back to the 7th set, but I would like to play True Scale. So once I'd like to finish essentially half Firstborn and then be able to replicate it again, or at least similar to the Firstborn in Primaris as well. So if I've got a Firstborn Terminator captain, then at least one Firstborn Gravis captain. As it is, I've got 3 of them. But that's by the by. If they end up bringing out a Gravis Lieutenant, one of them may end up getting converted or getting downgraded. Because I could do with that'll be perfect. 2 Gravis Lieutenants and a Gravis Captain. Because then they could run the Gravis Company. A Gravis Librarian would be nice, but apparently we're getting an Apothecary at least with the new 10th. Or at least a rumoured Apothecary anyway. I believe so, but he's Space Marines against Space Marines, so I don't get the fun rule with the Shock Attack Gun, which is roll 2d6 and see what happens on this table. I haven't got the rule to hand, but the Shock Attack Gun in 7th for the Orcs was absolutely hilarious. And I like that. 5th was what got me my love of Orcs properly, because it was Space Marines before I ended up with Orcs as a secondary force. And the silly daftness of them mixed in with the sheer brutality and insane lethality of the species, never mind what they were, just the species itself was ridiculous and hilarious. And then I saw the Shock Attack Gun. It was like, yeah, that thing is brilliant. I love it. And then they nerfed it in every edition since. Nerfed it and nerfed it and nerfed it. And it's never been the same since then. I can no longer just suck up characters or entire units off the table into a pocket of the warp. Or catapult myself across the table 60 inches and fly and headbutt the opponent. By accident. Yeah, that is not what your beard looks like, Steve. Maybe his elders Gandalf, but yeah. His beard is much more majestic. I can't say much, my beard's complete. Right, so that's all the black done. Now I do want to try using Rakarth Flesh Shade on red to see if it works as the wash. So I'm going to try that. Is it Rakarth Flesh? Yes, Rakarth Flesh. This is another one of Games Workshop's products for everybody who is actually paying attention. So you can tell me when I go, what did he use to do that? See, that's why I'm telling you lot, so you lot can remember, because I have absolutely no memory whatsoever. I'm actually doing incredibly well. This one might actually not even make an hour. See, if I'd have done more preparation and got more models out, I would have gone. I could have done more. I could have done a lot more. I need someone with a pair of steel toe cap boots. You got a pair of steel toe cap boots? You're gonna need to buy a pair.
Why?
Kick my ass into gear. No, psychic just takes place in whichever phase it's necessary. So if it's a movement buff, it'll take place in the movement phase. If it's a shooting type effect, it'll take place in the shooting phase. If it's an attack buff, it'll probably take place in the charge phase. Or the fight phase, somewhere around there, depending on the buff itself. Or the psychic effect itself. So yeah, they're moving it back to how it used to work in like 5th and 6th and 7th, where you do it when it's needed, not when you don't have to. Rather than trying to remember to do everything at the start of the turn, like they're trying to make you do at the minute, and go, right, here's the command phase. This is when you've got to do everything that you've got to do, all your psychic, all your command stuff, all your no, you just do it when it's necessary now. Right, now here's the fun bit. I get to try these on. Well, not try them when I've already tried them on once. I've just got to readjust them so they go on my head and take my hat off so everything goes punch green. And this is where I'll lose ability to even read the chat for a while, because I can't see anything, in case anyone can't see what my face looks. Yeah, in these things. Oh, actually, I can see out the corner of my eye. Ooh. 10th. What I think they're going to do is they're going to dumb it down. Not dumb it down, but they're going to make it simpler and make it more accessible. What they want is more people buying the starter boxes rather than old term gamers like me who only. I mean, I don't. Last time I purchased something from Games Workshop, last time I got something, I can't actually remember last time I actually paid for something in Games Workshop. I think it was probably only a paint though. Right. So, right. Oh, so, wow! These glasses really throw my everything off. Oh, oh, you already had your eyes done. You've already had your eyes done. You certainly haven't though. Right, what was that? Possibly. Possibly. He might say no, he might say, yeah, you got to message him first. Uh, if you're looking for D&D, Kirsty, see, I don't know what I ended up doing. Was end up starting myself because I didn't know where to start. So I just decided, right, I'm just going to start at the very beginning. What do you need? You need someone to plan the game. Right, I need to be that then. I need players. Right, okay, who wishes to play that I know in my local vicinity that I can speak to and get to my house. And did it that way. See, wow. Under the glasses, even that looks like, yeah, I've just gone on it with a 2-inch brush. Definitely on the side of his head there. Yeah. All right, so these, although they make everything bigger and huge, so you can see stuff. Sorry, Mandy. I can't see. Look, in these things, I can't see much because, yeah, unless it's right. Yeah, there we go. That's in the camera. I know that's in the camera because I can see out the corner of my eye. No, he's one I picked up a minute ago where his eyes are already done. I just need to wait for that to dry. His are done. He's in. He's in camera. Okay, lenses are easier to paint than eyeballs. But it doesn't help when you find out one of your better brushes is now starting to hook. It'll suffice, it works. It's a damn sight lot neater than what I possibly could have done without these glasses. Um, yeah, Jessica, you're into RPG games, aren't you? Maybe I suppose it depends where you are, though. Friendly local game shops sometimes have game nights where they teach new players for D&D. I know I've been quiet for a minute, haven't I? Such a strange, absurd oddity. Me shutting up for a few minutes. Mainly because I was thinking, for some reason, this stream has been particularly short. Most because I've been relatively effective in what I've been doing. Oh, that's getting better. That's getting a lot better. What are you like? Oh, yeah, better be not. I need another decent pinhead brush. But I'm not paying Windsor and Newton bleeding prices. They can sod off. They're not having 16 quid for 4 hairs. They can piss right off. Thank you, Kirsty. Right. Thing is, I don't want to get me on both cameras. And with the magnification of these things, I have to get quite bloody close. Oh, they're starting to set my eyes a bit funny now as well. Maybe you're supposed to take a rest from wearing them. That's why they've got that thing, the ability to lift up. But I'm not completely. Warhammer does get a little bit mental with the armies. It can take a long time if you're playing big games as well, because you've got a lot of models to move essentially. Well, really, it's more. It ends up for me being more of a chat across the table with my mates for a few hours because it's taken us that long to bloody play. So one person's looking up a rule because they've not made it bloody clear in the rule book. The rest of us are all chatting about something else until we go, sod it, dice roll until he finds it and just carry on. Rollers is probably the best method of solving any problem when you got in a game that involves dice. It's better in D&D because you've got a 20-sided dice as opposed to Warhammer where you only got a 6. You don't want to be like doing 3d6. No, you're a dick, mate. Just roll a dice, see who gets the highest. And your eyes are not dry. So I've got one set of eyes that were already done, and one set of eyes that are dry. Oh, I have Lee and Joey, who've both turned up incredibly quickly. Hello, Lee.
What?
How are you both doing?
Nobody in for an hour, right? And then we just fucking bang and bang. You got a guy from Liverpool, guy from Cleveland just randomly showing up.
Well,
what's up with you?
I'm doing all right actually. I'm literally waiting for these last 2 eyes to dry, and then I can paint the eyes in, and then I'm done.
Okay, cool.
So you both turned up at a wonderful time. How are you both doing? How are you? And you, Lee, how are you?
Not too bad. I've been making my spray booth. I've nearly finished it.
The luxuries of having a room to make a big box in the middle of that you can leave there in the middle of a room.
Oh, I'll move camera.
You can both. You've both got plenty of room that you can probably do it. Joey, you could fit a 2 foot by 2 foot box in your room. That's open at one side.
If you count the backyard, I can fucking do probably the whole fleet of them boxes.
Oh, bear with me.
If it was in your backyard, we wouldn't need them because it's a spray booth. We'd be outside. It'll just be wafting away into the air and stuff.
There we go. There's my spray
I saw a
booth.
Canada flag in there. Are you a Canadian national, Lee? You're not telling us about it? What's up with that?
He's secretly. I think he's secretly
I fly
trying
it.
out for the hockey team.
Now I
Oh,
fly
he just
both
got
flags.
all his friends' flags up.
Canadian
Okay. I gotcha.
Yeah,
I do the same thing.
because I could have follow a lot of the YouTubers on Canadian and everything. I like flying flags. It's in the hobby room, so that's just the way I am. I've got to put a light in it. Yeah, it's gonna have a light in it and everything.
I've been having
If
trouble
you're
with
doing
this
it,
one
you've got to
tonight
do
for
it
some
properly.
reason. Is this guy's eyes actually?
That's a US.
Yes.
It's a USB one, isn't it? You expect.
I am so missing the
I
airbrush
just
right now.
finished doing a project actually.
How did the competition
got
go, by
it?
the way? Is that a crossover for
Okay.
from roadside to
Yeah,
over the tracks?
roadside. Yeah, it's one side of it. I've just stripped it back. I've had it soaking in bleach for about a month
Bleach? Why bleach?
to get because it takes enamel off plastic. Not
So do other
bleach.
chemicals.
Dettol. Yeah.
Oh, Dettol. I was going to say
Dettol
the white.
works wonders.
Yeah, Dettol will do it. Acetone will do it as well.
Yeah, Dettol.
You've got to be careful about the acetone.
Right, acetone will eat a fucking hole through your table and your floor too. It's just not no joke. That's a class.
Oh no, yeah, it will just melt the plastic as well. So you've got to be careful when
fucking
Yeah,
thing,
that's
bro.
why Dettol's a better supplement to do it. Hey, I've just been storing. Ladies, I've just been storing on the other bench.
You've just been who to what now?
I've just been putting more stuff on the other bench. I can move stuff from one bench to another.
Yeah, that's because you've got two benches.
I've got my bench is 4 foot long.
See, so why do you need two benches? Make use of the room you've got.
Stuff. Because I've got the space. I like using it.
See, it's wasteful. That's just wasteful. I could fit 40 times the amount you've got in that space. That you. Easily. You're very wasteful. You should have at least 16 shelves above your heads. On every wall possible.
You should. I got that, and everything's covered with fucking crap. So you should see all my shit. I got so much fucking shit. I could probably fucking run a goddamn resale shop with all the shit I got here.
That's what I need. I need one room that's just full of storage shelves.
I just need to throw away a bunch of stupid shit or sell it or whatever. Stop buying all this crap.
Desk. Essentially, I need the room that at least got set up, but organized for me and not like.
Right.
Why is in here gloating and going over it? Typical bleeding scouser. Right, so is that everybody's eyes done and everybody washed?
He is, but he's under the dock.
Who's under the door?
You are.
Yes, I am. I'm just wondering if I have got all the eyes done, because Kirsty, because you was here early, as was Steve, and
I wasn't, because I was actually on another panel elsewhere.
Oh, you cheater! And Jessica, and
No,
Mandy, and Kevin. There's been all these people that we've been watching for ages. Then you just turn up
on a Monday night as well. It's before you. He goes live at 8 o'clock, well before you.
Ah, right. Okay. I'll let you off then. Just don't cheat on me again, all right? But no, that's it. I actually managed to, an hour and 10 minutes. This was a quick one, but the main part of it was I wanted to see if I could use these glasses on the camera, and these glasses are just ridiculous. They truly
Are
are.
they're cool. I do like them.
They're just daft, and I bet you never thought. Didn't actually realize I could do that, but yeah. Hello, that's a scary image, isn't it?
I'm getting myself a set next week.
Well, they weren't for me. They were for my partner. She picked them up because she has. Do you know the WizKid style models? The really the resin fine detail
Yeah, the
ones.
WizKids, because Connie Dragon does the WizKid Dragons.
Well, see the little guy.
Yeah. I think I'll have to get my magnifying glass out to see it.
Right. Well, the two models she's bought are small. In fact, she's getting it out for me to compare you and show you now. The one that she wishes to do, and she bought these so that she could do it, and then tried painting this little green guy and said she got the hands done and the skin done, and then said no, that's the model she's bought to paint.
Nice.
Now it looks quite flat on that camera.
Yeah, it does.
But trust me, the amount of detail that's actually on it is. I'm just trying to get it so it actually.
I've got those labyrinth ones to do, haven't I?
Oh, the labyrinth ones. Yes, I was impressed with them. But this is ridiculous. Underneath these glasses.
Those ones.
Yes, the labyrinth goblins. You need the board game as well, so you can get the other characters.
No, we don't. I'm just gonna paint them.
Yes, you do. You do.
Now, why do we need the other one?
Because then you've got all the. Oh.
Nah, I don't want them.
She's got pages on her books. Pages on her books. I can't see them unless I look at them under a magnifying glass.
Oh my god.
She's not wearing armor. That's actually, Joey, you're like this. Essentially, all she's got is some string across her tits.
Nice. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Those are the popular bathing suits back in the 90s, bro.
And it's unbelievable. Buckles on the shoes. How anyone's actually supposed to paint these with anything other than, I don't know, Jodrell Bank telescope or something? I don't know.
Well, I mean, you could get it. I assume, right? You can get as much detail in the painting as you want. I mean, you don't have to paint physically everything.
Well, if I
you can. You can get as much detail.
Where's the brush?
I mean, like if it's something you can't see under a microscope, anyways, I wouldn't even imagine it's me. I wouldn't worry about that part. I don't know.
Well, with this brush alone, I can.
I'm getting a better. Instead of having the glasses, I'm going to have the.
Are you going for the ring?
Yeah, I'm going for the
circular ring. Yeah, there's just something that that staring into a big gaping magnified ring just never appealed to me. So I thought I'd go for the glasses.
I'm going to still get a pair of the glasses as well. I'll have both.
Especially if I put it that way. I'm not surprised. But no, even with this, what is it? It's this is really hard to use these glasses. I look a 4-0 brush. So it is only, 12 to 15
Can you not change? Have you only got one lens for the glasses?
No, I have got other magnifications, just that this one's perfect for me. So I'm still.
That's what you want to do. You want to play around with them and see which one is good for it.
I can pick them out with this small brush. I mean, if I was putting any paint on this model now, this would go absolutely nuts on me, which is why I'm using a dry brush on a dry clean brush only. But I could get down like each individual lacing band, just about. Following the leather straps.
Live at 2:00 if you want to join me, Lars.
Well, in the morning.
Tomorrow if you want to come up.
We shall see, because my sleeping
2
pattern
o'clock
got
tomorrow
thrown out
afternoon.
completely last night. I ended up staying up till about, I didn't sleep last night and ended up staying up till about 10 o'clock ish. And then so my sleep
Yeah,
is
no
weird. I'll see.
problem.
I'll see how I am
Live
available.
anyway.
However,
Yeah,
if I am
I'm
available,
live
because
anyway, because
it is before the kids finish
before the
school,
kids
so
are out.
I may
Yeah, I'm
pop up.
live. We'll probably go 2-3 hours, Connie. Then I'm back live again Sunday, but that's no good for you. But my Tuesday one's a regular occurrence at 2 o'clock.
Do you want to know something? Now I'm looking at this model, I'm thinking inking might actually be a better option to painting.
Yeah, ink it.
Because of the natural white on it. If it was to be done with inks as opposed to paints, then it would just seep into the, essentially just doing
Yeah,
it like high
inks.
low pigment washes, and allowing it to tint
Yeah,
the material all the way up until it gets to the tone that you want. And
that's an
Joey started.
option. That's an
I just
option,
have
is
to do
it?
it in very small dots with like a toothpick or something.
Yeah, the toothpick's going to be your best because you'll, toothpick, because you'll get it with the toothpick on it brilliantly. You could even paint with a toothpick as well.
You can. I'm trying to keep her. Hi, Hannah. Sorry, I lost there in complete. My mind just gone. Sorry, I didn't even see you come in. Hello. See, Joey's better at taking care of my chat than I am.
Yeah,
um,
I'm not
but yeah,
watching today. I am.
everyone's always better than taking care of my chat than I am. That's why I want my missus.
I am
She wants to
now.
always go, right, come and take care of it for me. But she's looking at me. You think you can paint that in dots?
If I have them.
I'll let you have your model back then before
I'm
you
up.
get worried that I do anything with it. Although, yes. So tonight was a success. These glasses bloody work. I can do eyes with them, and I know I've got a lot of cleanup to do, and because of these glasses, doing said cleanup is gonna be easier. Because it's almost like it's on a big 10 or a big 4K screen. So it's going to make it a lot easier to
Someone's
paint with.
going to be, that comes on mine, Lars.
Yes,
He's
Larry.
actually got a new airbrush that he's going to be testing out.
Oh, is it William?
I've just called it out. Yeah, William's got a new airbrush.
Damn it! My brother-in-law's just
He's
taken
going
his
to be
back from
testing it
me.
out on the.
How? What's timing?
Oh,
My brother-in-law's just taken his back from me, so I no longer have it. I am seeing a big blue
fuck.
splash there that I've got to clean up eventually. So that looks like what my project is going to be for this week is to finish up these two units. One unit of hail bosses and one unit of intercessors. And then I don't know whether to base them the same as the librarian and the blade guard or do them differently.
Up to you which way you want to do it, innit?
Ultimately, yes. So I suppose I'll have to think on that. However,
you
have. Job accomplished this evening. Thank you very much for everyone who came to join me. It is a quick one for me. I know 1 hour 20 minutes. That's very quick. Usually,
right. Usually like 5 hours and shit. Right.
Usually, I barely found all the paints that I've got that I need by this point. I was actually more prepared than usual.
That's what you need to do. Is you can prepare for your live stream. You can get things done more.
Yeah. So I can actually be quite productive. I didn't set myself a particularly high target, but I set myself a high enough target to think that normally that'll take me 2.5 hours to get through on stream.
Yeah, that's done well. I've just made myself. I was just making myself a coffee before I come up.
I'm just finishing off a cup of tea, so when I come off in a minute, I'm going to go make another one, I believe.
I don't need to. I don't need to go far. I just go behind me, and I've got the coffee. I've got the coffee machine.
Well, Kirsty's kind of hit it right on the head. That's why I do like guests. Guests give me someone to talk to and slows me down a little bit if I'm going at a too big of a pace. That
It is nice to have a panel though when you're up, especially trying to have someone there watching the chat. I was hoping to be on, but I got invited onto another live stream because they were talking about spray egg brushing and all that. So I got invited up to it, so I took the opportunity.
Well, yeah, it is nice to have a panel, especially for, as you said, the chat, because I am very boring and I don't do much. And I do get strange, interesting people that might not.
Yeah.
If you came up specifically for Wargaming or Warhammer 40,000 stuff, I'll let you into a little secret now. Not all of my panel members have even a clue what the game is.
I know about the game. I know about the game just because I kind of like to have an idea what my friends do, but I've never played it. Like I'm probably never. I mean, unless I'm like hanging out with you randomly, I'm probably never going to play it. You know what I mean? I'm just not. My son likes it though. Jimmy likes like Dungeons and Dragons, that kind of stuff. So he's probably going to get into that. But yeah, I'm pretty much all sports and weed and titties, and that's about it, really. YouTube.
as I said, not all of them have the same interest, shall we say. So discussions can sometimes get a little bit hectic. This one's been quite a calm, quiet one. You've got to meet Joey Edibles from Square Table Degenerates. Please go check him out. He produces fantastic podcasts. Especially if you like, he's done wrestlers, he's done a few of music. If you like podcasts and interviews, check out Square Table Degenerates. If you like model railways, please check out Anfield Road Hobby Layout in the Loft. If you like listening to a Mancunian waffle on and talk complete tripe,
well,
I get better at painting, then please continue to watch and subscribe to my channel. However, I'm classing this as a success. Thank you for coming up and joining me, Joey and Lee. Thank you, everybody, for joining me in the chat, and have a good evening.
All right, brothers. For sure.